What's up everyone, Bren here. First of all, I want to thank every single subscriber of mine. I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I've been gaining about 20 subscribers per day, so that's kind of fucking crazy. And I know that I haven't released a video in about 3 weeks, but I'm going to be releasing at least 3 videos per week from now on. I've actually been playing a decent amount of Dota recently, and I'm currently at 6.5k MMR. I actually want to do a run towards 7k and document it on this channel, so if anyone is interested in that, let me know. And so this time I'll be covering the essentials of playing a 4-position jungling Furion. And just for anyone that doesn't know about the 1 to 5 role system, it basically just indicates farm priority, with 1 being your hard carry and 5 being your hard support. So since I'm going to be taking on the 4 position, I'm just going to be playing more of a semi-support, do a lot of roaming, help with buying some of the support items. As you can see from my starting item build, I actually went for no talisman, 1 observer ward to take pressure off my solo support, and then 1 clarity. So I'm going to be summoning my treants right here at 5 seconds before lane creep spawn, and basically what this will allow me to do, since treants last for 60 seconds and there's only 30-second cooldown, by the time that the neutrals actually spawn, I'll have 25 seconds to use with these treants I just spawned, and I'll have another set coming up right when they engage, so it's going to be completely perfect. Summon at about 5, I'd say about 5 seconds before lane creep spawn is ideal. But yeah, this hero is currently sitting at a 43% win rate in pubs, with the most popular way of playing him, just sitting idle in the jungle with the Midas. So it's not surprising that his win rate is bad. And let's be real, I'll be honest guys, this hero's pretty bad against the current pub picks, including heroes like Storm Spirit, Spirit Breaker. He doesn't do very good against Leshrac either. But it's still possible to have high impact with him if you go more of a support and ganking route, which I will be doing in this video. Now, right there, I focused on killing the big creep. I actually stood a little bit too close and actually accidentally blocked it, so that's a kind of a mistake on my end. But it's not too big of a deal, since I do have this medium camp. I don't jungle fast enough to clear the 2 medium camps right here for it to be a big deal. Now, as you guys can see, I'm not planning my ward yet, just because I know that both blue and purple are top, which is Huskar and Pudge. I'm looking over there; they're not moving around the map. So why would I plant a ward, especially if there's not going to be like a rune spawning anytime soon? It would just be inefficient time on the ward placement. This time where it's just not doing anything. But since I am over here right now, I will be planting it really soon, especially since it's getting near 2 minutes. I do want to see what spawns over here, to see if it's like a haste. Maybe I'll TP in and get it to stop Storm from getting it. But yeah, so I plant it right there. And now I'm actually doing something really important, guys. I'm kind of like counting Storm CS. I was actually talking to Windrunner during this game as well, asking him how much CS Storm has, and what time his bottle would probably be arriving on the courier based on his starting item build. So I would say almost always count the enemy CS and look at their starting build to get a rough estimation of their courier timing. But Windrunner did that for me this game, so I didn't have to do that. So I could be a little bit lazy. Now I do see the courier though. He was bringing it to him. So I get that kill. That's really important. That had his bottle on it, guys, and he is pretty low. And we do have Windrunner. He has a sack shot. I go over to this side of the cliff to get some auto attacks in to help him out. If I kept going forward, I wouldn't have been able to get off 2 auto attacks. I might have been able to get off 1, but it actually would have allowed him to live. So I walked down there just a little bit. So that's really important. Not only did I help him get the kill, but I got the courier. So that's basically just mid, like hardcore 1. Basically off just what I just did. Now, I'm kind of just saying this because I know that there's a lot of players, even high level players, guys. Like I'm talking about like 5k plus, even 6k players. They'll just kind of like idle in the jungle. They won't do any TPing for runes or ganks or anything like that. Okay, so right here, I seen the Huskar was low. He's really weak to physical damage. Pudge doesn't have boots, so I mean it's just like an easy TP and gank, just an easy counter gank. And right there, I was not auto attacking the Pudge because I wanted Juggernaut to get the kill. And also, it's important when you end up in those situations when Pudge is on low HP, that you always want just one person to be auto attacking, just in case he gets a deny off. Because if he gets, for example, if both of you attack him at the same time, and both of your attacks are on cooldown, and he has low HP, that means he can get an easy deny off because both your attacks are on cooldown, your auto attacks. But if only one of you is cycling your auto attacks on someone, then the other person is always going to have their auto attack up in case they're very low. So if I saw a situation where Pudge would have been able to deny himself, I would have taken the kill. But just let Juggernaut have it though. There's no need for me to take it. But yeah, so I'm playing a very team-oriented Furion. I really don't give a shit about my own farm, to be honest. I just want to help my team get as farmed as possible. I will be going for kind of like the competitive items, or the items that Furion builds in competitive games currently. So I'm going to be going for items like Mech, guys. Like Mech, Solar Crest, Urn, items like those, early Bastion Ring. Just with some early stats, which include Treads, which I'm going to be getting. Now you can go for 2 or 3 Null Talismans if you really want to, but I value just having the boots, and obviously just for about 1,000 more gold, you get the upgrade to the Treads, where you can swap your stats. I really just like getting the Treads really fast over extra Null Talismans, but it's up to you. I'm just going to summon my Trance right here. I'm keeping my primary ability, my Nature's Call, so I'm putting points into that whenever I can. I want that max at level 7, just so I can start helping with pushes. They're very useful in early fights, especially since they did receive a buff. I think they do 5 more damage at every level. I mean, just 5 more damage now? I'm not entirely sure what the buff was. I think they do more damage now. But I'm porting in. We're not able to kill him. I might have been able to port in on the location where his ultimate would have ended, but I'm way too low. I don't want to take the risk and go for that type of play. Now looking bottom, Omni Knight is kind of low. I do see that he has full mana though, but Juggernaut is healing, so that means I can probably get an easy kill on him if he stays aggressively on the lane. The thing I need to worry about though, if I do TP right now, is just that I did see Storm go back to base. So Storm does have a TP up. He can TP in if I do go in for a gank somewhere. So I'm kind of holding out on my TP. I canceled my port right there because I want Windrunner to have a haste. I still don't see Storm. I kind of figured that if he's not back in mid, he's probably jungling at this time, which means he's probably low on mana. Just because it's been like 50 seconds or so. So he's most definitely jungling. Okay, he was actually top. So that means he TP top, and there is no chance of him being able to get a counter gank off bottom. So I'm going to be summoning my Trance, and I'm going to be auto-attacking him. And now what I'm going to be doing here is really important. I'm just putting my hero on auto-attack, and I'm microing my Trance. I'm microing my Trance to block him. This is really important. You can just select all of your Trance, make it really simple, and just use hold position. And just make a huge wall. It's really simple to get blocks off with Trance. A lot easier than using like your hero, for example. Since you have like 4 units, obviously 4 units of Treant compared to like just one of your hero. So just simple kill right there. I do have my ultimate right now, and now this is another thing. I do not spam my ultimate unless I really need the D push. I'm not going to be spamming it to get farm, because in the early game, when you don't have any towers down, all that's going to be doing, guys, is just going to be taking away farm from your own team. Like later in the game, when you have towers down, you can spam your ultimate to like push the lanes in, because that'll give you more map control, meaning you can get like ganks off easier. It's easier for you guys to farm the jungle. But in the early game, definitely do not spam your ultimate, unless you're playing like an offlane Furion, I would say, where you do want to be focusing on farming. Because if you're playing an offlane Furion, chances are you're playing him more as a 2 position, where you're taking a lot of the farm. But I think like I've been talking about, if you're jungling with him, I think you play more of a support hero. Now I do have Mech in my quick buy. That will be the first time I'm going to be going for. I think Mech plus Furion is just so strong, guys. It really just allows you to push your advantage as this hero, and just be really aggressive in the early game, which I think what you need to do. So we have the Warlock upheaval right there. He drops his ultimate to cancel the TP, just to ensure that he can't escape. So I mean, that's a decent call, and we're going to be able to get a push off that. So yeah, it's definitely a really good call from him to just drop his ultimate. So I'll summon my Trance. We have the Warlock going. It's going to be a really easy tower. I'm about halfway to my Mech. So we're just auto-attacking this down. Not too much really going on. But I am definitely keeping an eye out keeping an eye out on Storm's farm, because Storm is really the one that we need to be keeping down. Our heroes are really fucking awful against Storm, to be totally honest with you guys. And so I just did something right there, which you can do. I use my Sprout, and then Windrunner just throws out a Shackle. It should be basically a free Shackle shot every time. So this is a pretty good hero combo, Windrunner and Furion. It's really easy long duration Shackles by using the trees that your Sprout creates. So nothing too insane. But yeah, as I've been saying, guys, honestly, since Storm and heroes like Spirit Breaker last year in like every game, I think what you need to do is a Furion. Just because those heroes, like, they just shit on this hero so hard with equal farm or any type of advantage. I think you need to be going for this mech build. If you're jungling, of course. If you're jungling, the game is obviously a lot different than if you're like laning. I'm not gonna be talking about laning too much in this game, guys. If people want to see like an offlane Furion game, I can do that, but I know that most people in pubs at every level, they just like to jungle him. So I mean, I'm just gonna be focusing on that. I think that when you jungle him, I think you do have to be taking advantage of just Nature's Call, his treants, and just your ability to push towers and be active with like your ultimate, which does a lot of damage in the early game. So I have this fight, but they just popped the Omni ult. It's not a fight I want to be jumping into, especially since they're all full HP. There's a pretty good Shackle shot, but he does get hooked right there. Throw my ultimate, do a decent amount of damage, but I am coming in now. Can't really do too much, so clean up. Just auto-attacking people down, making them run. Oh, my treant's coming up soon. I'm going to be pushing this lane. Even though they are nearby, I do have my team. I know that they use a lot of their spells. Storm has no mana, so I'm not at risk of dying. He's coming up at me, but he can't. It's basically harmless. But Pudge is someone I have to watch out for, and he just he's just like, fuck it, and just walks around. Oh, okay, alright. Well, really good Warlock Golem drop right there. Gets them into upheaval. But yeah, I'm getting burned by Huskar Spear, so I do end up going down there. I still have my treants alive. I am microing them. I'm not being idle with my treants. I'm not just like summoning them and then forgetting them as I'm using my main hero. I'm using both of them in conjunction to help the team. Just blocking a little bit right here, blocking the Omni a little bit, blocking the Dazzle. Hopefully that helps him survive. And actually that might have just let him live. If Dazzle got off another one of his poisons, he might have died. Alright, but we get off a really good Shackle there, and a concoction on him, so Storm just dies. Not much you can do. Alright, so looking around the map, where can I do stuff? I have my mech now. This is the time, guys. When you get your mech, this is the time. I know the Storm is dead, and the rest of the team is healing, so what can an Omni really do against me? I don't give a shit. I just poured in some of my trains and started attacking this tower. Now, I do see blue TPing in. Yeah, I do have my mech, though. But he's going on me. He's not low on HP, so he's not doing too much damage. I pop my mech, I Sprout, and then I TP out. So TP, very good. Very good, actually. You should always have a TP on this hero. I mean, I know that I wasn't like perfect about having a TP always in this game, but you should always have one, honestly, because you can pour it in, and after a fight you can TP out, use your TP to TP out. And now I'm back in it again, guys. So extremely, just using my early game mobility to be everywhere. I have my mech aura going. Even though it's on cooldown, it still does provide a decent amount of regen to my team, so it helps us stay healthy. So, getting the Pudge. Yep, got the Pudge right there. Storm's coming in. Kind of missed Zips right there. And as you guys can see, man, like, just the stats that I have right now, just cycling between int treads and strength treads, between when I need damage and when I need survivability. My no talisman and my bastion with my, just not even the mech activation, but the fact that it gives you 5 stats, 5 armor, and a very good aura. Just really helps you be active on the map. Imagine if I went Midas. I would have died to the Huskar, for example. I wouldn't have been able to TP back in and help my team. And bait the Storm Spirit into his death. Just popping my mech, staying healthy. And also, when you use your activation on the mech, it gives him the armor as well. I really think this is the way to go. And once once you get your mech on a jungling Furion, for me, I think that is when you can go into more of a damage or a lockdown oriented item. As you guys can see, I have Orchid in my quick buy, which is going to be absolutely amazing against this game, against heroes like Omni, Storm, especially Omni. If you can stop Omni from getting spells off in a fight, he's basically just a useless hero. Because he doesn't want to like run in there and like put his aura on you or auto attack you or put himself in danger. He wants to be casting his spells in the back, casting his heals throughout the course of the fight, keeping repel on his teammates, and using his ultimate at the right time. But even if you just Orchid him and you aren't able to kill him, that usually just gives you enough time to maybe kill one of his teammates during the time that he would have wanted to keep them alive. Brown says troll game. True. Pretty troll game. Yeah, so I have one Oblivion Staff so far. It's going to give me a lot more DPS, and it'll help me farm a lot faster as well. It's going to help me stay high. Well, with the mech and the Oblivion Staff, just a regen from the Oblivion Staff and my Bass Ring, I'll basically have just a walking fountain of regen for myself. I have the mech for the HP, and then I'll have the Oblivion Staff for the mana. So I'll be able to stay on the map really actively. I definitely think Orchid is really strong on this hero. But yeah, I do not like rushing it though. Honestly, guys, I think when you're against heroes like Storm and Omni and you're playing Furion, that you want to be going for just a basic item beforehand. Like a mech is good. Maybe even going for like an upgraded wand and maybe like two null talismans and then like a brace or something. Just like get some stats. Honestly, even drums is good. It's a great aura. Makes you really tanky. Just get something to help you survive. Especially so you don't feed in that time when you are farming up your Orchid. But I managed to get enough done with my mech that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Alright, so just putting out some split pressure now. We are ahead, and obviously once you do get ahead, guys, it's important that you do start initiating a lot of split push, especially since we have really good ward vision. I have been throwing out my ultimate a bit just to keep the lanes pushed at this point because we do have towers down. As I talked about earlier, guys, it's really important that you start doing this once you actually get some towers. He's going on me, but I don't really care too much. But yeah, it's really easy escape right there. I knew he was going to stun me, so I just casted my port right away. Then once he stunned me and the stun was over, just recast my port. It doesn't go into cooldown or anything like that. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, like I already mentioned, don't spam your ultimate for farm until you already have some towers down, because basically once you have some towers down, guys, spamming your ultimate is actually generally a good thing, I'd say. Not all the time, but what it allows you to do is just actually have the lanes pushed in so that you can take easy like 5-on-3 fights, because they have to like defend 2 lanes at once, and you can just outnumber them in fights, or you can go for like objectives like Roshan, or you can help your team farm the jungle. Now we just get a port in right there. I kind of came in late as I was pushing top, but I did get my ultimate on them earlier, so I managed to do some damage. Just throwing out my trance, and we're just pushing in. Yeah, I had my mech coming back up. And guess this. Pop my mech. We'll just heal right back up. So we get the Pudge right there. I feel like Pudge is just, whenever Pudge hooks someone, he like dies immediately afterwards in this game. Yeah. Alright, so we have the acid spray to kind of zone them off the area if they want to engage. Throw, right there, as you guys can see right there. Just throw out my Sprout, and then get a Shackle right on top of it. And just gonna hit every time. And I'm just focusing on the racks. I don't give a shit about hitting heroes at this point. If you get the racks down at like 18 minutes in the game, that's a big deal. Especially if you have heroes like Alchemist, Furion on your team, with like awful. Well, I don't know about Furion, but Alchemist is honestly, guys, he's really goddamn bad right now. So it's really important that you do get a lead with him. I would actually argue that Alchemist is one of maybe the worst hero in the game currently. But yeah. So porting back in, I definitely want to be helping my team. Storm Spirit is very low. Didn't have any mana, even though we had Repel on. Let's pop him on my Orchid, just do some damage. Forces Omni to use Repel on the Pudge, which is definitely what he doesn't want. Ideally, he would want to be using that Repel on the Huskar who's currently on me. I do end up going down either way, but so does Huskar. Not too bad of a trade, since we get that kill, and we'll be able to get the range axe right here, so not too bad. But yeah, I have my Orchid now, I have my mech, and from here you kind of basically just do whatever you want. I really like going Solar Crest right now, guys. I think it's completely broken. It's one of the best items in the game. Minus 10 armor and 30 evasion, or 30 miss chance or evasion, depending on who you cast it on. Just kind of insane what it does for the cost. It's also just very good for like your hero in general, like just Furion in general. Just like even if you don't cast on someone, you get the 10 armor and you get the 10 evasion. It's only costs 3k gold. It has good build up with the medallion, but I'm not going to be going for it this game because Warlock already has it, and we really only have one defensive target for the Solar Crest. Like, I'm not saying like you can't have two on the same team. Like, you definitely can. It's an amazing item. But since we only have the Alchemist to really frontline and put it on, I'm not really going to be going for one. I'll be just going for different items at this point. So yeah, just have Necro Book in my quick buy, which I think is a really strong item if you are snowballing, if you are ahead like this. And Necro's gonna, honestly, Necro's really strong against these type of lineups like we're against. An Omni, a Storm Spirit, a Pudge, a Dazzle, and a Huskar. They have no AoE. They can't kill the Necro Books. And since we already have a Rax down, even if we take a fight, I don't even have to use my Necro Books on the heroes. I can just throw them on like a tower or a Rax, and they can't really do too much about it in the middle of a fight. Just because they don't have enough clear, to be honest. So we drop the rock. We're just hitting the tower. Screw it. Alright, they pop Omni ult, even though they're all slowed from the upheaval, so that kind of sucks, but I guess he kind of had to do it. We're kind of at the stage of the game where they're just so far behind, they just have to pop the Omni ult early like that. Yeah, this is a pretty funny game, to be totally honest. Pretty fun game as well. Funny game and fun. So yeah, we're just taking in, pushing out the racks. It's definitely possible to still lose because I've seen some weird shit with Omni, guys. Like, whenever I lose games like these, it's always against an Omni. I swear to God, that hero just, like, if you manage to get like an Ags, like their team fight just becomes almost unbeatable, I'd say. Especially, like, people say that you can counter Omni with just a diffusal blade, but that's not entirely true, since his ultimate goes on every single hero. And his heal is very powerful. Like, sure, you can repel that single guy that's sure, you can defuse that single guy that's repelled, but I mean, you're not gonna buy 5 diffusal blades. That wouldn't even be efficient. Like, yeah, he's definitely a very strong hero. Yeah, just pushing in, and we have Megas at this point, so the game is basically over, guys. Yeah, thanks for watching. Oh yeah, and I was just kind of like testing out a different name this game, guys. This is like an alias. Let's just say this was like a social experiment that I've been doing. I've been testing like how a name influences like your teammates in matchmaking, and honestly, I've seen some weird shit happen to me recently, guys. Like, people just, like, I've been going mid sometimes, and like I'll have someone on my team just like start flaming like Peru or something. They think I'm like Peruvian because of this name, this current name that I was using in this game, and then they'll just start running down mid and feeding couriers and shit. So yeah, I would definitely say if you're using like a strange name or something, I don't even know what to call it, to maybe switch, because it does have a huge impact on what your teammates think about you and how the game will go. Like, some people will just straight up give up when they see a name like this, Tyrone, Quavo, and Tuki. Like, they'll be just like, fucking, I'm done with this game. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you guys want to see more of. Let me know if you guys want to see my run to 7K documented. And the way that I would probably do it is I would probably just like record maybe like 30% of my games, like win or loss, and I'll upload them. It'll be like live games. I'll have very light commentary, very light. It won't be too much commentary, but it'll be something. Just let me know. See you guys.